Manisha, it's a great pleasure to have you on to talk with you about racism and tourism, and thanks for making time this evening. One of the questions that's always interested me is what experience do you have as an Indian inbound tour operator of racism? Do your tourists arrive with racist views, or do the hosts, do they have racist views? What's been the experience of Village Ways?
Thank you, Dr. Harold, for asking these questions. It's a privilege for me also. Uh, in terms of village ways, I think ever since we started, the concept was that it's an approach to welcome visitors from all corners of the world as well as from the country. And I think we introduced tourism as a beautiful link between the visitors and the hosts, and where mutual respect is a part of the trip. When you are exchanging your own feelings, your ideas, your stories, and also hearing other people's stories about their lives, I think that's where the exchange element came, and the whole experience is all about that. So for us, we have been hosting travelers from many different parts of the world as well as from India, and as of now, I don't think we've had even one experience where this has been the case, or we've had something reported to us from the guest side or even the host side.
Many people, Manisha, will know that India still has quite strong caste structures. Have there been issues between the different castes or between the villages around the question of tourism, or have you managed to instill that same sense of respect in the relationships between the different castes in the different villages?
So those certainly have been seen, because as you know, India has different castes of people staying in different villages. And when we started working in remote villages and areas, which generally were cut off from the outside world before we started, so there was a caste structure in every village which could be seen. Of course, as I say that with time things are changing in India also. But when we started working with them, and they could see that they would be working in a cluster, because we generally tie up our trips in a cluster of villages. So people go from one village to another and have a different experience. And the guides are the common guides who travel with the guests or walk with the guests. So I think when we started working with multiple villages, sometimes we did face these problems, especially in the northern Himalayan region where there are different castes of people. But what we felt helped us to resolve those issues greatly is the work culture which was beginning. Initially all the caste systems were around social systems set in the villages or in the country. But when work culture sort of started taking a priority and people started to look at the professional lives of how they are guiding the visitors or taking them to their homes, and the main focus is how the guests are happy with the experience. So I think that sort of built the bond, and they walked ahead of that caste system. It took time. I don't say this has been an overnight experience. It took time. We had several discussions in the committees about this when these things came. We wanted to discuss and find a solution within the community how this can be done. So eventually, over a period of time, we have seen that these things have been resolved.
So tourism has actually been a leveler. The sense that people are working in tourism together from different castes has actually leveled some of that racial dimension. So there's a more of a sense of equality between the groups.
Yes, I mean, the beauty also is, since we are now working in different states of India also. So sometimes even there is not just intercaste, but there are also people coming from different religions background. And because we have a center where we do the trainings for the communities, and they are actually interacting and mixing with other people around. And even once in 2 to 3 years time, we have these workshops where we call people from all over the country. So you can see how they bond together. Again, I emphasize that it's because tourism has bonded them on the basis of the work culture, respect for each other, and also experience sharing.
That's a very interesting example, I think, of what tourism can achieve. Manisha, I'm guessing that you've never yet had a Black African or Afro-Caribbean or Black American visitor. Does that concern you? Would you like to have those kinds of visitors?
Absolutely. I mean, we feel that our trips are very well suited for different type of people. We have worked even in other regions. Even in terms of our work, we have done work in Nepal. We have past work in Africa also. So we feel that our trips have the necessary acumen to be an enjoyable experience for all kind of travelers, and we don't have any worries about that. We would really feel very welcome to have travelers from other parts of the world who are not arriving, and people from Africa or other countries as well. So I think we are looking for such opportunities, and any suggestions to diversify that for us.
I guess one of the problems you have is advertising the tours in a way that makes sense and is attractive for people from a broader range of ethnic backgrounds than you're currently attracting. Because at the moment, I think most of your guests are either European, whether that's from Australia or Europe, or Indian, but you're not attracting people with a different cultural background.
Yes, I mean, I think as you rightly say that we are probably not presenting it in the right way. Perhaps we need some help there. And but I do feel that it has the potential. It has those elements which can please anyone, and I'm sure it will be a good experience for all. So I would say that we would need any help in this regard, and we are very open to that.
Manisha, thank you very much for your time, and let's hope that someone sees the video and gets in touch. Thanks very much indeed, Manisha. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Harold.